Hi everyone, and welcome to Studio SN. My name is Sara Naumann, and in today's video we're going to be playing with the Kuretake Wink of Luna brush markers. The Wink of Luna brush pens from Kuretake are filled with a water-based metallic pigment ink, and they give a beautiful, rich, shimmery effect, perfect for both your backgrounds and the focal elements on your cards. And I think as I'm tilting this, you can see that beautiful, soft, shimmery effect from the Wink of Luna brush pens. So I want to show you first a couple of things about the pens themselves, and then we'll get into actually building the card. So I'll set aside my card and bring in one of the Wink of Lunas as well as a couple of pieces of paper for us to play with. So the first thing to note is when you get your Wink of Luna, same thing as the Wink of Stella, there's going to be a plastic black band that's in between the barrel of the brush and the tip. And so what you'll need to do, as I already have done, is remove the cap. You're going to need to untwist this, and then you're going to need to lift off that black band and discard it. Then twist back on the tip like so. And you'll see on here there's a little word push. Well, on the other side there's also the same word push. What you're going to need to do is push gently as you're holding the marker down so that the ink can go from the barrel all the way through to the tip. And you will see that happening. I think you can see I've already got my pen primed and ready to go. Now the other cool thing about the pens themselves is that the tip is actually separate bristles that act as one nib, which means that you can get really fine dots of color, really fine lines, but you can also get more coverage as well, just depending on the angle at which you're holding that pen. So it works, of course, beautifully on standard white cardstock. It also looks gorgeous on black cardstock. This ink has a really high opacity, so it's going to work gorgeously with dark black or dark blue cardstock as well. It also works really nicely on vellum, and I love using this for stamping and embossing an image on vellum, then flipping it over and then coloring in from the reverse side. It works gorgeously. So these are just a couple of tips about your Wink of Luna before you actually get into using them. So I'm going to set aside these elements, and I'm going to bring in my blue, and I'm also going to bring in another tool, which is my brayer. Now you'll notice that I'm working onto a craft sheet, and that's because I'm going to be doing some brayering with the blue Wink of Luna. So this is a brayer from Rare Earth, the tattered lace people. So this is a Stephanie Waitman tool, and it's one that I really love. I always keep a brayer out on my work surface because you can use it for so many things. So now what I'm going to do, I've got another piece of plain white uncoated cardstock, and so I'm just going to scribble some of this beautiful blue onto my craft sheet. I'm going to take some water from a mister bottle and spritz this on here. Then I'm going to take this brayer and I'm rolling it through to make sure that I'm getting color on as much of that surface as I can. And then I'm just going to brayer this right onto my cardstock. It only takes a couple of swipes through because I want to still have some of that white showing on there. But look at the beautiful shine on here, and it gives me instantly a beautiful textured background. Now you can add as much or as little as you want. You can also come back and add more colors to it as well. So the next thing I'm going to do while this is drying, and it really won't take very long at all, then I'm going to get ready to stamp my focal image. So my work surface is all cleaned up and I'm ready to start working on my stamped focal image here. So again, I've got a piece of plain white cardstock, and I've also got some clear acrylic stamps. Now the stamps I'm working with are from Stamps by Me, and this is the perfect set. And the reason that I like this is because you have two really great, big, fun, fabulous silhouette florals. So this technique works really well with silhouette style designs, which means that it's all colored in rather than having an outline style of design. And you'll see why that is in just a second. So I've got the large element of my flower here on my clear acrylic block. I'm going to turn this over. Let's set aside my cardstock for a second. And again, I'm going to take that blue Wink of Luna, and I'm going to scribble this directly onto the stamp itself. Now, many of you are going to remember this technique from working with dye-based markers. So you can probably guess the next part of the process here is going to be adding some water to this, and you are exactly right. So I'm going to get all my color on here as much as I can. And then what I'm going to do is take again my spritzer bottle, my mister bottle, and just add a little bit of water on here. You don't want to over flood it, but you do want enough to make that sort of watery effect. And then I'm just going to come in here, and you can see the water reacting with this, and then lift, and I have a really beautiful watercolor effect flower. Now the next thing I can do while this is drying is get the smaller element of my flower, and I'm going to add another color in here. So I have the blue for the bottom, and then I've got the silver for this portion of the flower itself. So again, same process. I'm just going to take that silver and scribble it directly onto my stamp. And these will wash off quite easily when I'm done with them. But I do want to make sure to clean them off pretty quickly after I use them so that the ink doesn't get dried on here. So again, add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to come back in and do this flower portion in the center, like so. And that's going to give me another layer of color in there. Now the final piece that I need is the little flower center. So I'm taking off this portion, and I'm going to put the flower center on my block, and then I'm going to take my black Wink of Luna and color this in the same way. Now this one has a little bit more detail to it, so I'm not going to over flood it with water. Add just a tiny bit there, and then come in and stamp that in the center. And it gives me such a fun and pretty watercolor effect. But of course, because it is that Wink of Luna, I'm getting that shimmer and that shine on there. And then I just need to add the stamped sentiment, and I can add this on top of my beautiful brayered background. So let me bring back in the original card here, and we can talk about how this is put together. So you can see I've just simply matted this up onto white and then onto black, and I did edge around the outside of this front panel with some black ink just to give a little bit of added definition in here. Now the stamp sentiment down here, I did stamp this with a regular stamping ink because I think this is just really too fine of detail on the script to use it with the Wink of Luna. So I wanted to make sure that I had a nice crisp image there. And then I've got my brayered background mounted top and bottom onto black, and then just put onto the front of my card. So this is how you can use Kuretake's Wink of Luna brush pens for stamping and for brayering. I hope you enjoyed today's show. For more ideas and inspiration, please stop by my website at saranaumann.com. If you enjoyed today's video, I invite you to subscribe to Studio SN on YouTube, and I'll keep you updated with a new video every month. Thank you for joining me on Studio SN, and I'll see you again next time.